Welcome to the Resource Allocation Overview. This video will discuss the resource allocator referred to as RAS. RAS focuses on present time, as opposed to future time, which is known as calendar-based scheduling. RAS helps to determine how busy people are on a current day, who is overloaded with work, who needs work, and who is available to do the work that just came into the office, allowing the firm to effectively allocate work across multiple levels of people and multiple levels of tasks. It is designed to save firms a tremendous amount of time by avoiding the manual process of producing and updating spreadsheets. Free partners and managers from having to waste valuable billable time tracking current work status. Provide real-time access to what resources are available, based on employee profiles. Enable real-time management capabilities for allocating work among employees, clearly identifying staff that is overburdened or underutilized. Ensure that as work moves through the Axcess workflow preparation workflow process, RAS is automatically updated with current information. Provide partners and managers real-time over/under budget analysis of the tasks for which they are responsible. The Resource Allocation Schedule module has extensive logic built into its functionality in order to make it as automated and efficient as possible. As a result, there are two basic requirements that firms need to meet. The first requirement is that the task types controlled by RAS need to have their workflows mapped to establish their basic logic. Since all of RAS information is derived from the control sheet and the particular status that the task is in, workflow mapping is what establishes the relationship between the task status, the staffing roles on the control sheet, the users assigned to the roles, and the related budgets, actual and remaining time associated with the roles, so that they can be accurately reflected in RAS. The second essential element required to make RAS an effective tool is the need to accurately capture time within Axcess workflow. RAS is all about time, budgeted time, actual time, and especially, remaining time. Determining remaining time on work assigned to users allows the person scheduling work to see who is overloaded, who has free time, and based on that information, easily reallocate work among staff members. Axcess workflow allows you to track budgeted time and actual time directly on the control sheet in the staffing section. The following points should be considered as you set up RAS. RAS is user rights driven. Multiple user rights provide flexibility, so various users can access different RAS views. Only one RAS user right can be selected per user. To grant a particular user the rights to RAS, open the user's profile from the Manage Users page. The following table describes the Axcess workflow RAS user rights available along with their descriptions, and the best practices when configuring user rights and roles for CCH Axcess workflow RAS. The RAS resource user right enables a user to be displayed in the Select Client/Entity dropdown in the RAS search page. In the RAS search page, when you select My Client/Entities, only those users with the RAS resource user right are displayed in the dropdown below. You can search for all clients/entities pertaining to a specific user only when the user has this right. All task types controlled with RAS must have mapped workflows. If you have already mapped the workflows of your tasks, please review the mappings to verify that the roles assigned to each status are completed. This check will ensure that RAS will properly reflect the remaining time of the person assigned to the task. Use the Manage Settings and Defaults utility to determine how you want to use RAS. RAS firm settings are included under the Scheduler Status Grouping section of the Firm Settings page. For those firms that have multiple locations, you can standardize your RAS setup across multiple locations, or customize RAS on a location basis. Choose the locations that you want to set up for RAS. Choose the task category. Your selection will modify the windows below by displaying only those task types and statuses associated with the selected category and which have had their workflows mapped. Choose the task types to be controlled by RAS. Please note that only those task types that have been mapped will be shown in the task type pick list column. If a task type that you want RAS to control does not appear, use the Workflow Mapping utility to first map its workflow. Then return to the screen, which will now display the desired task type. Under the task type pick list column, move the task type to the task type selection list column by highlighting it and then clicking the arrow button in the middle. When this step is completed, only those tasks reflected in the task type selection list will be included when calculating RAS information. Hide statuses that are not considered in process and exempt them from RAS so that your RAS results will be as accurate as possible and contain only pertinent information. The underlying theory of RAS is to show how busy staff members are by displaying the remaining hours assigned to tasks that are in the process of being prepared. As the task moves through the preparation process, RAS will reflect the budget hours, actual hours and remaining hours for each person who is working on that task. There are a number of statuses that may occur before budgeted work has actually begun on the task, as well as a number of statuses that may occur after budgeted work is completed, in order to free up remaining budgeted time before the task is actually moved to the completed status within Axcess workflow. For example, you may consider a task moved to the status to be scanned to not have officially started for scheduling purposes. Or you may consider a task that is moved to e-file awaiting consent form as completed for RAS purposes, thereby freeing up remaining budgeted time associated with the task. You may also have some tasks that are in the preparation process that will not be worked on again for a long period of time, example, 1040 returns that have been put on extension while you are waiting for information. You may want to move these tasks to an on-hold status and not show the tasks in this status on the RAS schedule. Use the following sections of the scheduler status grouping page to exempt the statuses that you do not want RAS to reflect. Move the status from the Not Started Status Pick List column to the Not Started Status Selection List column. Move the status from the Completed Status Pick List column to the Completed Status Selection List column. After the selections are made, click Save. The tasks that are displayed with the search feature of RAS can be controlled by appropriately setting the RAS options in the Manage Settings and Defaults utility. To do this, 1. Click Firm Display Calendar Schedule to expand the associated options. 2. Click RAS Settings to display the options that can be set for RAS. 3. In the text box that is displayed, enter the number of days for which the scheduled calendar hours will be displayed in the RAS search or report. The calendar hours can be displayed for a maximum of 21 days. 4. The toggle beside Include Calendar Scheduled Tasks allows you to customize the search and report results. Select Yes if you want to include tasks that were scheduled through both Calendar Scheduler and RAS. Select No if you want to include only those tasks that were scheduled through RAS and not through the Calendar Scheduler. Click Save. Users can also set the role that you want to view in the RAS search results page. To select a desired role, from the drop-down beside Role shown in RAS, select the role that you want to display in the RAS search results page. Click Save. How will you populate the task budget fields? If you have not used the budget fields within Axcess workflow in the past, how will you populate them now? You have two options. 1. The first way to add budgets to your tasks is to add the budgeted time as you start each task. An easy way to do that is to move the task to the user who is assigned the responsibility of adding the budgets. You might want to create a specific status for the adding of the budget hours and include that status in the mapped workflow of the task. In addition, you could add a checklist item to the checklist page to ensure that the budgets have been added to the control sheet. 2. The second way to populate the budgeted hours within Axcess workflow is to use the Budget and Actual Report Export feature from the Reports menu. This feature allows you to populate the budgets in bulk by exporting the tasks to a Microsoft Excel template. To create the template, from the Reports menu, click on the Budget and Actual Report, choose the tasks that require budgeted time to be added, by using the available search filters. After you have chosen the relevant tasks, click the Export button and the tasks will be exported to a Microsoft Excel template. Save the resulting file to your local system or network for editing. The spreadsheet must be able to run macros. A critical part of using RAS is to show the remaining time associated with each role and ultimately, each user. This requires that budgeted hours for all tasks included in RAS are entered. Users record the actual time they spent working on the task. Lack of accuracy when entering budget and actual time components, or if they are not entered, results in inability to calculate the remaining time associated to the staffing role within Axcess workflow. To facilitate the ease of adding time within workflow, the field on the Move Task pop-up screen enables you to add time to the control sheet at the time the task is moved, as well as adding time from the Move Task option from the user's My View page. The purpose of the RAS Schedule tab is to reflect how busy users are as a task moves through the preparation process, which in turn will allow you to allocate work to the appropriate staff. We do this by not only by reflecting the budgeted time, actual time and remaining time for tasks that are currently being displayed on a user's My View page. This is visible under the Tasks on My View page column header of the Scheduler tab. We also include the same information for tasks that are being worked on by other users within the firm, and which will be moved back to the user to be worked on, which is visible under the In Process, Not on My View page column headers section of the Scheduler tab. Let us consider a scenario where Jamie and Michelle are working on a task. The budgeted and actual hours for their roles in the control sheet are given. The RAS search result shows the budgeted hours, actual hours and remaining hours under tasks on my view. Michelle has 15 hours of budgeted, 4 hours of actual time posted and 11 hours remaining. RAS shows the details besides Michelle's name under the first set of columns, tasks on my view. When Michelle moves the task to Jamie who needs to review, the time details show up under the second set of columns. Since Michelle is no longer working on the task, the time details are displayed under the in process, not on my view columns. When you move a task to a different user, the budgeted hours, actual hours and remaining hours will be displayed under this section. Viewing RAS is very flexible and can be customized as required through a number of filters that allow you to define your schedule results. The filters on the left side of the page are all employee profile related fields. These fields originate from the user setup page located in the Manage Users utility. If these filters are useful in narrowing down your search, we would suggest you update users' profiles through the Manage Users utility. The filters on the right side of the page are all the task-related filters. After you click the search button, the search filter area at the top of the screen will collapse to allow you to see more of the schedule results. You can click on the icon beside the resource allocation details to expand and view the filter areas again. The search results grid shows the users on the left side of the page with red numbers next to each name. Each number represents the number of tasks that have been assigned to that user. This is an easy way to see how many tasks a user is working on, especially when not everyone is using the budgeted hours feature. Letters and numbers in parentheses following a user's name indicate that the user is a part-time employee. The letters represent Monday through Sunday and the numbers represent the number of hours the user works in a given day. This information will help the scheduler know how much work they can assign to a part-time employee. Click on the plus sign next to each user's name to expand and display more detail. The next level shows you the budget hours, actual hours and remaining hours along with other information on a task level basis. To reassign tasks between users, click the box next to the tasks you wish to reassign, and then click the Reassign button above the search grid. The Reassign Staff pop-up screen prompts you to choose the person to whom you wish to move the task. To be able to reassign tasks, one of the following rights should be enabled. 1. RAS All Schedules, View and Reassign. 2. RAS My Schedule, View and Reassign. After you choose the person to reassign the task to, click Reassign and the task will be reassigned. There is no need to change the status of the task since all you are doing is reassigning the task to someone else to work on. The task now shows up on the newly assigned user's My View page immediately. There is a checkbox on the Reassign Staff pop-up screen that says Save Assigned to Name to Routing Sheet. Checking this box causes the control sheet staffing role associated with the current status for the task to be changed to the user to whom the task is being reassigned. When you use the Reassign button for tasks under in process, not on My View that are not currently assigned to the selected user, the tasks will not immediately move to the person to whom you are reassigning the task, because the task is not currently being worked on by that selected user. As a result, no change will be seen on the My View page since the task has not yet been moved. However, Access Workflow records that the task was reassigned to another user and will push the task to the new user, instead of the original user, at the appropriate time in your workflow process. Included in the grid is a column labeled Roles. This field displays the roles for which a user is listed on the control sheet. If the user is currently assigned to the task in any of those roles, that role is displayed in bolded text. If none of the listed roles is in bold, then that task is not currently assigned to that user. In order to provide you with as many options for viewing and using information as possible, we have created 2 reports which allow you to view and export the results of your RAS Scheduler tab searches. From the Scheduler menu, after running your search, either manually or through a saved filter, and after the results are displayed, click the Report button. The RAS Search Summary Report will appear and will allow you to export it to various formats, including Microsoft Excel. For more details, click the Go to Detail Report link at the top of the summary report to view more detail about your search results. The RAS Search Detail Report will display and allow you to view and export its contents. To return to the RAS Search Summary Report, click the Go to Summary Report link or exit from the report to return to the Scheduler page. The View Tasks to be Scheduled link on the Scheduler menu is intended for those users with tasks that need to be scheduled. This feature allows you to search for tasks that have been moved to specific statuses indicating that they are ready to be scheduled. To use this feature, click the View Tasks to be Scheduled link and the following View Tasks to be Scheduled page will appear. Using the available search filters, you can easily view and open the status that shows the tasks that need to be scheduled. Note that the budget role to view is a required filter field and points to the role on the control sheet which displays the budgeted hours for the user to whom you are moving the task. For instance, if you are moving a tax return task to a reviewer, in the budget role to view drop-down list, you would select the reviewer role. After you click the search button, the budgeted hours for the reviewer would be displayed in the search grid, allowing you to see the budgeted hours you need to schedule. Seeing that work does need to be scheduled, you would then run the scheduler for the group of users you are trying to schedule. After you have identified who has available time, you would use the Move Task button on the View Tasks to be Scheduled page to allocate the work to those users. The rollover option is required if the firm wants their budgets to roll from year to year. This can be set up in Auto Rollover as well as in the Recurring Task utility. Automatic Rollover allows the firm to set a schedule at the task level for projects to be rolled by workflow when the previous project has been moved to the completed status. When projects are moved to the following statuses: complete, filing not required or prepared by client, workflow creates the next task instantly. To set the automatic rollover, use the Manage Task Type utility. By looking at the Auto Rollover column, the user can see if Auto Rollover is on or not set. To turn on Auto Rollover, the following steps must be followed. 1. Double-click the checkbox next to the task type code in the grid to clear all checkboxes. 2. Select the checkboxes you would like to schedule. Bulk setup is allowed within this feature. 3. Click Auto Rollover. A new window will appear with your Auto Rollover options. Users should select the budgeting option. Selecting the budgeting option will show the additional options that are available for budgeting. 4. Click Apply. If the user would like to edit the options because it is already turned on, the user will click the On/Edit under the Auto Rollover tab to open the Rollover Options window. From here, the user can make their edits and click Apply. The Manage Recurring Tasks utility allows users to automate the creation of tasks according to a user-defined schedule and includes carry-forward options. Recurring patterns are recommended for projects that are not on an annual schedule. This allows the firm to set a schedule at the task level. CCH Axcess workflow will then create the projects daily, weekly, monthly or quarterly as set by the firm. The initial task needs to be established in workflow in order to automate the recurrence patterns. When you have your initial task created, and deliverables added, you can now create your recurrence pattern. Within the Task utility, Manage Recurring Task, use the filters to find your tasks. You can add recurrence patterns in bulk as long as all recurrence information is the same. Select the task or tasks that the recurrence pattern will be set up for by selecting the box next to the client name. Next, click the Create Recurring Task. When you click Create Recurring Task, the Recurring Tasks window will now appear. The window contains 4 sections: Carry Forward Options, Period End Recurrence Pattern, Start Date for Recurring Task, and Default Task Settings. For the budgeting to carry forward, users need select Budgeting option. Once complete, click Apply and there will be a pop-up stating the recurrence has been scheduled. This concludes this video tutorial on Axcess Workflow Resource Allocation. Consulting services are available to purchase. Please reach out to your sales rep for more details.